How are we going?
Okay, my first impression of this rider is very good in her upper body presence and strength. Super impressed with the framing of her upper body and strength through her shoulders and the flatness across her back. Her look through her head, neck, hat positioning, hat shape is good. From what I can tell from here, we'll see a little bit more. I'd like to see a little bit more structure through the ankle and depth of heel. So we've got a little bit more stretch down to match the quality and stretch of the upper body. I like the relaxed look. I mean, she's not stiff, but you know, this horse is not packaged and organized. So you know, it'll tell the story when we start jogging. Jog, please. And you know what we're looking for. We saw this on this little horse earlier. You know, there's kind of a fine line. He doesn't frame up. He doesn't go on the bridle, but give him too much rein, and he's kind of all over the place and falls apart. He needs the support of a little bit of connection. So, you know, don't hesitate to play with that on these horses and see what you can do and what you need to do. Very pleasant look. Extend the jog, please. Extend your gait. Nice transition into lengthening there. A little bit more movement in the lower leg and the foot, and that was kind of what I was alluding to at the walk. I want to see a little more structure and steadiness there and lack of movement. Good through her seat, and hand connection to her horse is good. Collect your horse, please. No, where are we going? That little surprise he gave her there was kind of what we were afraid of, with that just kind of letting him go along and be a good horse until he's not. You know, he likes just kind of doing his own thing, and generally is a good boy, and then boom, there he goes, exit stage left. So not really necessarily any fault of hers, just lack of prevention. I'm a little concerned with the amount of weight she has in her stirrup. Hopefully she does have weight in the stirrup. That's a question. Lope, please. Want to always make sure we have contact with the stirrup pad. Don't want to ever see too much movement there. You know, like I've said 100 times to you girls, some of these things are not necessarily a pet peeve of mine, and I know you guys have good leg position. You could ride without stirrups, but the point is, some of the judges you're going to be showing to, that's a huge pet peeve to them. You know, and that's why loss of stirrup is such a huge point deduction in the horsemanship in the EC. It is such a big deal. It's a safety thing. It's lack of ability to use that. So I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just pointing out some things we want to make sure we stay aware of. Jog, please. And generally, in the down transition, it will really surface. And you didn't have issue with movement of your stirrup in your down transition, but you had issue with a break of gait. So, you know, enough said. Break of gait's a big enough point deduction that we just can't have it. So, got to stay in the program with your horse and stay connected through those transitions. Let's walk, please. Reverse at the walk and continue at the walk. Okay, I saw a little bit of repositioning there with the thoughts of changing direction. So it was apparent to me that you lost some position of your right leg and you wanted to fix it before you changed direction. Smart. But when a judge is looking dead at you, let's not make it quite so obvious. I'm not saying not do it. I've made this comment on everybody's video today, and we've talked about it 100 times. Not changing your position is far worse. A judge would rather know that that you're out of position and fixing it, but let's just be a little more discreet about it. Lope, please. Lope. Nice upward prompt transition. This horse kind of changes uphill, and he kind of left you behind just a little bit. Not as much in your upper body as it was a movement of your leg as when he stepped off. So we want to stay over our leg. We want to keep our leg directly underneath us and make sure we keep some structure to our leg position through all our transitions. Kind of getting on the back of your thigh just a little bit, and he kind of is like riding a rocking chair, so got to really be aware of that on horses like this. Jog, please. This rider is so good through her shoulder and her back that she can make a lot of mistakes with her legs, and a lot of judges that really emphasize that presence is going to totally ignore it. So she's got that going for her. But when the leg has so much lack of connection that you have these continued break of gaits, that's going to continue to draw attention to the need for just a little bit more structure and strength and connection there. Reverse at the jog. Now don't be so quick to do that, especially at the jog, that you change your pace and rhythm. Just reminding you, like I've reminded everybody else, these change of directions is huge in a tiebreaker. Judge wanting to see your coordination of your aids and how you guide through there. Just because a lot of times the patterns aren't enough when we've got a lot going on. Walk. Halt. And back 4 steps. And walk on. Okay, you can line up and get ready to do your pattern. Actually, it's not. Let's back up a little bit. She'll be walking right through here. First corner was a little lazy. A little too much spur there and less connection with your hand through the corner. Appreciate the fact you're using your leg, but you're going to have to catch him a little bit more. You'll have that lope step. So, nice arc. He's a little bit dropping his shoulder on you, but you're staying in the center, so that's good. Nice stop. Good pivot. And walk out. Good. Okay, stop. Much better first corner. He's a little agitated, so at this point a judge is going to be like, is she going to be able to settle him down and get through it? And you start trying to find, why is he agitated? In an equestrian team horse show, the list goes on and on and on and on and on why a lesson horse would be agitated. So most of the time the judges don't really put a whole lot of negative value to that into the rider's score. It's how the rider handles it. Do they get softer? Do they get mad? Do they jerk or whatever? And you basically rode through that like nothing happened. So that is certainly credit earning for you. Okay. Video's rolling. Nice circle. It's a really good view of you coming at us. Nice job. Good connection to your saddle. He's kind of wanting to be rude in your turns. Don't get too much twist to your head, okay? So when you watch this video, just kind of play with that sometime. You don't want to get too much twist to that head. Stay right over that inside ear. It doesn't look artificial, but sometimes if we get too far, our inside shoulder starts to go with it, and that's what we don't want to do. Okay, Sarah, just while you're riding, if you inched up, just keep doing what you're doing. If you inched up on your reins 1/4 of an inch, just to stay a little closer to his mouth, not to make him bridle up, but just to take that little bit of room that he has to move his head around, does that make sense? Away from him, will it look better? Now, when you get in his face and try to force him to frame up, he gets real agitated. Yeah. Unless you're riding two-handed and you can force him into it. But there's a fine line of being close enough to your bridle bit so that his head at least stays still. Okay. Your right rein is a hair shorter than your left rein, so we want to always be aware of the same amount pressure on both sides of the mouth. Sometimes they move their head around because they're going, hello, I'm not getting the correct information because your reins aren't even. So don't forget to always check that when you start getting a little agitation, okay? Feel like he's guiding a little better and yeah. How much are you pushing him around with your leg? Is that what he's getting mad about?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
I don't care if he's mad.
I shouldn't touch his face or use my leg.
No, no, you can, I mean.
I don't care if he's mad.
No, I don't care if he's mad. I'm just asking because.
Okay.
You have to suck it up. Acceptance of the rider's age.
You bet.
My calf really hard, like that.
Yeah.
To make it move.
Absolutely.